Welcome to the Laker family, y'all, where we just witnessed an all-time beatdown of our Los Angeles Lakers by our rival team, the Boston Celtics. Words can't describe how upset and how disgusted I am about this loss. It's one thing to lose, but it's another thing to lose to the Boston Celtics and to get mollywopped, completely just wiped off the floor the way we did. It was embarrassing. No other way to put it. It was on national TV. We got our tails waxed on national TV, and to lose in that fashion, and the crowd chanting "Beat LA, beat LA." It was horrible to watch. It was horrible. We started off this game hot. It was an 8-0 run, and I'm sitting here pumping my fist, chanting "Let's go Lakers," all kind of stuff, man, and it changed. It flipped. There were some there were a lot of bad calls from the referees early on, and it looked like it kind of just took us out of rhythm, and it took our heart to a certain degree, and it seemed like we got a bit discouraged by some of the non-calls that we were not getting, and some of the ticky-tack calls that the Boston Celtics were getting at home. And the complexion of the game just completely turned after that. And it just went downhill. We were so discombobulated all over the place. Guys were just starting to turn the ball over, left and right, just giving the ball away, just careless mistakes. I think Bradley stepped out of bounds off a rebound. This was stuff all just in the first quarter, and once it started happening, the Boston Celtics never looked back. It's like they took a full advantage of all of our mistakes and our miscues. LeBron started off kind of with some flashy passes and got some guys open. And I was like, okay, that looks Magic Johnson-esque. Then, he even threw a couple of careless turnovers in there early on. AD just didn't look like himself first game back, which I'm not going to kill him all the way because he is coming off an injury. But it seemed like the referees in the beginning, the carelessness with the turnovers, and the return of Anthony Davis all factored into us being completely discombobulated. It seemed like guys were too concerned with where do they fit in now that Anthony Davis is back, or feeding Anthony Davis, overfeeding him too much, trying to get him inserted into the game too much instead of playing loose like they had been playing when he was not when he was out for injury. Guys had started coming along and playing over their head and just playing with a fun attitude, and none of that stuff showed up in this game, and it was reflective in the ending result. We got beat by 32 points. 32 points. I'm embarrassed to even have this hat on still, and I don't have a lot of words for this, man. But it was just slap embarrassing. Kyle Kuzma didn't look to be aggressive. I thought that this would be one of the games that Kyle Kuzma would take personally against Jason Tatum, because Jason Tatum is the media's darling, if you will. And he's been that prematurely. To me, he's been anointed prematurely in his young career. And I'm not saying the guy doesn't have game, but the way that the media has been uplifting this guy, you would think that he's Kawhi Leonard or somebody in that tier by now. The way the media does that, and the way Boston fans overrate him, and that's one of the that was one of the reasons I told y'all in one of my videos some time ago that Tatum was so coveted in any trade talks because of how well the media and their fans uplifted him, versus us that bashed Ingram or Kuzma or whoever, Lonzo, and they became devalued. So that's why we ended up having to give up so much in that trade for Anthony Davis. And side note to that, do y'all believe me now? After Ingram dropped 49 points a couple of games ago, and he looked terrific again tonight against the Grizzlies, do y'all believe me now that we gave up way too much? Because we were kind of looking a bit desperate, to hurry up and get LeBron what he needed. And we wouldn't have to give up so much anyway if we didn't bash our youth the way Boston didn't bash their youth. The Jaylen Browns and the Tatums, and even Terry Rozier. He got a nice size contract because of how much they bumped him up, in the media's eyes or what have you. So I thought that Kuzma would take that personally, and he didn't. He got outdone by Tatum in this game. This was the worst I've seen our defense this year. It was the worst defensive game by far this game. This year. It was like, you get a layup, you get a layup, you get an open three, you get an open three. It was just, let me invite you down the lane, and it was ridiculous. It was like, man, it was indescribable, man. Listen to this. Jason Tatum, 27 points. Hayward, 16 points. Kemba Walker, 20 points. Jaylen Brown, 20 points. Enes Kanter destroyed us on the boards. 11 rebounds, 18 points. Marcus Smart, 9 points. It got so bad that even their bench got in and just took turns on us. That's how bad it got. And it was very disturbing to watch. It was like, I'm just holding my face like this, like, especially third quarter, I was like, okay, if we come out, hit him in the mouth, we can cut down this deficit and make it a ball game again. We did the total opposite. We just let him punch us in the mouth and just keep on punching. It was just a straight KO. A straight KO tonight. They beat us up on the glass. They got so many second chance opportunities on top of us turning the ball over, and they got out in fast breaks. Jaylen Brown put LeBron in a poster. And, Tatum just coming down the lane, getting easy layups or dunks. They were pick and rolling us to death, getting whatever they wanted. Kemba pick and rolled us to death, got whatever he wanted. They ran a couple of zones. They ran some zones on us, and that even had us more discombobulated and just out of sorts. And I'm going to give the coaching staff a little blame on that as well. I know you can't do anything about guys missing open threes as a coach, which contributed to the Boston Celtics continuing to play zone on us. If you don't make them pay from outside, they're going to continue to play zone. So I still blame the coaching staff because there was no adjustment to it. They were able to take our two superstars out the game. They were able to take Kuzma out the game, and the guys just didn't know how to defeat this zone. They didn't. It was just, they was like a deer in the headlights out there. It was almost like how can I say this? It was almost like they never seen a zone in their life. The way they looked, like they looked scared. I didn't see any positives from the Lakers out of this game. None whatsoever. I didn't see no silver linings. I didn't see nothing. I didn't see no fight. And normally the games that we've been either getting beat bad or or even when referees get in the way, we still found ways to overcome all that, because we know as Laker fans the referees are 9 times out of 10 going to be against us. Just like that last game, we had to overcome all those free throws and ticky-tack foul calls from the Rockets. We overcame that, and we showed our resilience as a championship contender type team. We didn't do none of that tonight. None of that. There's no way Boston Celtics should have 139 points on us, and we're considered a top defensive team in the league. And the Boston Celtics were a reeling team. They were reeling before they got to us. I think they lost like 6 of their last 8 games. They were struggling bad. Tatum struggling bad. Kemba struggling bad. Jaylen Brown struggling bad. We made all of them look like they belong. We made that whole starting 5 look like they belong in the All-Star game. That's how bad we made. That's how good we made them look tonight. It was disgusting, utterly disgusting. There's 2 teams you cannot lose to whatsoever this year. It's the Boston Celtics and those nasty, stinking Clippers. And you dang sure can't lose to them in this fashion. If this is a true blueprint to disrupt the Lakers' offense, more teams are going to keep doing it. More teams are going to keep doing it, zoning us and pick and rolling us to death. Zoning us and pick and rolling us to death. I love JaVale McGee, but he's been having issues with guarding pick and rolls, especially against quicker, elite speed guards, point guards. Markelle Fultz ate him up with the pick and roll, and Westbrook to a certain degree last game, and now Kemba Walker. JaVale McGee is getting exposed in pick and rolls. And I can't beat JaVale McGee up too bad because he does try, he does hustle. He ended up with 18 points. He had a couple of late garbage time shots, like he had a 3 in garbage time. But he had three blocks, 5 rebounds. So not a bad game. It's just we're getting killed on pick and rolls, and there's no way to contain it at the rate that we're playing. And I trust Dwight Howard a little bit more in the pick and roll situations, but our guards have to do a better job as well. So it's not just all on the big men having to come out and contain. The guards have to do a better job of showing and then getting back. Once the big man shows enough, our point guard has to fight hard enough to get back into play. That way, the big man won't always have to be in so much trouble, getting caught on a speedy guard like that. So it goes hand in hand. The defense all around was just poor. It was terrible. hopefully this was just a blip on the radar, because if this is a blueprint to uh, disrupt us, then that means we're in trouble, and we definitely need to start looking for a playmaker or something. Another wing defender. I don't know about the. I don't know what's going on as of late with the Andre Iguodala situation, but it's looking like we need him as a safety blanket. When guys are just getting absolutely destroyed like that, you need somebody, a dog like Andre Iguodala, to get out there and put a hat on somebody. I'm using a football term, but just put a hat on somebody, man. Make them feel you. Uh, when guys are parading down the lane like this, you got to go old school style sometime. Karl Malone or whoever, Dennis Rodman. You got to go Dennis Rodman on somebody, man. You can't just be letting guys prance down the lane like that, undeterred like that. It's embarrassing. I gotta hurry up and end this video, man, because the more and more I talk about this, the worse the more mad I get, man. But yeah, we got another game Wednesday coming up, man. I think we got the Knicks, and then after that we got the Nets. I'm glad that we have the Knicks coming up, but even if we go in there playing like this, we can end up losing. So let's get it turned around. Let's get Anthony Davis back in a nice rhythm again. Playing back to that MVP level form before he got hurt, and we need Kyle Kuzma to get back to that. Get to some type of consistency, man. We can't be having these 2 games in a row where he explodes, and then 2 or 3 games where he's just looking completely lost out there, man. Like I said, I do not want to trade Kyle Kuzma. His name continues to pop up in trade rumors, but he's still valuable. He's still valuable. He gets in his own head sometimes, and it's like the low IQ stuff is what gets me. Turning the ball over and kind of low percentage shots, and rushing sometimes on his drives to the goal instead of finishing through contact. Sometimes he just throws up these prayer hooks or layups. He's got to do better in that department. Rondo kind of overlooks Kyle Kuzma too, to a certain degree. A couple of times he missed Kyle Kuzma on some rim runs, and then we got an offensive rebound on one play, and Rondo got the ball in the right corner. Kyle Kuzma comes up and pops wide open at the top of the 3-point line. Rondo waits like 3 or 4 seconds to pass Kyle Kuzma the ball, and then by that time somebody's on Kyle Kuzma and he has to hoist up some crazy shot. So the chemistry was way off today, all the way off. No camaraderie, no playing for one another. It was just every man for themselves out there, and you can tell. That's all I got, man. But I'm glad that we have 2 bottom feeder teams coming up, man, in the Knicks and the Nets. So let's regroup and take care of business. On to the next one. And I know y'all love my content, so how come y'all haven't subscribed yet? Hit that subscribe button. Hit some of them likes. Get them likes up. Let's get this channel rocking and rolling. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.